How you doing, folks? I'm back in Underverse. Well, let me tell you how I got back here, though. I wandered that forest for about 2 days. Then I happened upon a frog, an alligator, and a tortoise. And they had cornered a snake. You know what they were doing? They were chanting.
We got us a leprechaun, we got us a leprechaun. Now we want its pots of gold. Give it to us, must have, must have, must.
So I was curious, talking animals usually means divine things. So I went over to him, and the snake straight jumped at me. So I got it. I had tons of practice with Motto. And then it started asking me for help, gasping through its pain. And I was like, hey, this might actually be Motto. So I just threw it on the ground and sprang up and went on my shoulder. It was crazy. Now, you won't believe me, but it started chanting. Before I knew it, they were all looking at me, the three of them, chanting, snake thief, snake thief. And then a portal opened up in front of me. The damn snake had summoned something. Whatever. Seemed better than standing there talking with freaking animals. So I walked through the portal, and guess what? It was a town of vampires. Oh my goodness, I spent the next 3 days just watching them party. It was so... They drank dragon's blood and passed out before the night was over. And no, they didn't shine in the sun. They stayed out of it. After partying with the vampires, I asked them where I could find someone that might be able to help me get home. They told me about this town called Ludere. They pointed me down a long path and said that at the end of this path, you'll find the town. However, if you should find yourself lost, you will find yourself again in the eye of the storm. Okay. I started traveling down this pathway, and I'm not ashamed to say that I lost just about every fracture of my being. It was frightening. I don't know how you mortals get out of bed. I had lost all my memories, all the facts about Underverse, everyone that resided there, as well as myself. And you know what I only knew? Fear. For the first time in my life. And it's been a long one. I kept going because in the back of my mind I kept hearing those words. I'll find myself in the eye of the storm. I didn't know where the storm was or how I would find it. Traveling down this path, I was in a mangrove for a while, and then it was open spaces. After that, it was a sort of enclave where a storm was brewing. By this time, I was so confused and so fearful, but nothing would allow me to obey that fear. It just kept driving me forward, on and on down the path, until I met with these trees that at the time, all I could understand were they were vines with orbs extending from them in an elongated pattern, like a pyramid. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Grapes. But I kept traveling down this path as those grapevines arched over my head, until finally I came to a wall of branches. And as I appeared at that branch wall, there was an essence that seeped from the grapes around me, until it manifested in front of me as a man. This man held a chalice in one hand and a reaper's scythe in the other. And he said to me, I have questions 3 for you. He said, what is your name? And without thinking, without even an instant, I told him truth. He asked me, what is your purpose? And I told him that I seek truth. He asked me, why do I desire? That his scythe began ticking forward towards me, like a kitchen timer. Tick, tick. My answer finally came. Providence. The scythe stopped and I could breathe again. He offered me his chalice. And again, without a single thought, I refused it. Something I would not normally do. And just as I thought I'd begun to regret it, the branches began to unmesh, pull apart, and the gate opened. My mind finally cleared. I could remember everything. The man introduced himself as Le Père Petard. And I thanked him. But he had a message for me. What you seek for this moment can be found within these walls. First, you must find yourself. Find myself. I'm right here. I knew, because my faculties were back, that this Le Père Petard was a trickster. But not the same as Motto. I don't believe that he would have watched in gleeful joy as his prey fell to its death. However, I did not trust him. Except that I did trust the vampires. So I walked into this place of mystery, of wonder, of refined magic, and I did glance into the eyes of the future, and the past, and all things that begin now. I saw shops there that would shock you. I saw animals that roamed the streets that were not just friendly, but cleanly. Nevertheless, it only took me a short while. But now, I am back in Underverse, and I have so much more to tell you. So join me, because I'll keep making these things, whether you come back or not. It's all about the fun.